Hey guys, Sean C. Phillips here with our brand new DVD Blu-ray Tuesday shop video today. Today gonna go out today, see what things came out, see what things are on sale today. Today though, some of the big releases that come out, and I wrote them down just to make sure I didn't forget. The main big one that comes out is Bad Boys for Life, which is the third film in the Bad Boys series, which I actually really like that one a lot. And that one, with that release, I know there's a number of different retail exclusives. Target has one that's a Blu-ray edition that has like an exclusive cover that's sort of like an animated, kind of like pop art kind of looking one, which actually looks pretty cool. And then Best Buy has an exclusive edition, which is a 4K edition, which is a Steelbook. I'm not sure though if Walmart has anything exclusive for that one or not. The other thing that comes out today is the film The Gentleman, and I'll have a review of that one at the end of this video, as well as the film The Turning, as well as Like a Boss. Also, though, at the end of this video will be a whole bunch of brand new DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K reviews, so stay tuned for those at the end of this video. But anyway, though, guys, let's get going and see what we can find today. And I have now one of the better masks, thanks to my friend Rob for sending one of these better ones, because this one I couldn't find. The one thing I don't have, though, still is gloves. Those have been really, really difficult to find. But basically, though, and I meant it's like so hard, it's kind of hard to talk in these ones, but basically, I'm only going into these stores on Tuesdays, so I'm kind of like waiting to, to get all the things that I need then. So last Tuesday I didn't go to any of the stores. I just did store pickup for Best Buy. But today I have a list. There's a bunch of different stuff, food items, because I'm going in, on Tuesdays, like I said, doing all the marketing and that kind of stuff then. And so I'm getting all the food items for my family and everything like that then. So I have a big list of stuff to get today. So basically what I'm doing now too is I'm, only touching movie-wise the stuff that I'm going to be buying. I'm not like, touching everything else. There is two things though I am going to be getting in here today, though. Like I said, I'm trying not to touch anything that I'm not getting. And also I'm going to look at the movies first, show them, and then put the phone away so I'm not, taking my phone into my pocket and all that kind of stuff. And I may have to be going to Target as well, because, there's a couple of things in there I have to get, like certain types of dish soap for my mom gets in there, real specific ones that they only have in there. And then this other type of a juice thing, this drink thing. So if I go on Target though, it'll be real quick in there, just trying to get those things on the specific things that are mainly Target items. But we're gonna head on into Walmart now. So into Walmart we go. But in here though, on the ground and everything, they have all these kind of things that say, please keep 6 feet apart. And then they have like certain things in here that say, they're all throughout the ground that say this. And some of them have one-way traffic, so you can only go down certain aisles. You have to go like certain types of directions and stuff like that. I don't see that in this one. Some stores do that and some don't, when they have like because they say like, oh, you can only go this direction if you're going to go that way, and then everyone has to walk this way, no one can come this particular way. But like I said, gonna head over to the movies first and then start looking at the stuff on the list. And like I said, I'm trying not to touch anything else that I need to or any of that kind of stuff. But hopefully they have all the stuff out in here today. So like I said, fingers crossed, and then gonna look for the food and everything. But when it comes to Target though, like I was saying, I'm going there for certain things. I haven't been in there in weeks upon weeks, and for a little bit I thought that they weren't selling anything but the nothing but food items and stuff like that. But from what I heard, at least out here still, they still let you buy everything in there or do the store pickup. But from what I heard, they let you do everything. Everything is kind of picked over, so hopefully they have the new stuff. We'll see though. Like I said, I don't want to lollygag around or anything like that, so we'll look quickly though. But in here though, like I was saying though, the big things that came out today was Bad Boys for Life, and it looks like they have the majority of the new things out though. But like I was saying, Bad Boys for Life, and that one here, the 4K is $27.96 for that one. It's $22.96 for the Blu-ray, and then $17.96 for the DVD. And they have a 3-pack here. It's not a bad price for all 3 of the movies for $29.96. And I'm thinking, because this is one I'm going to get, but I'm thinking about this one, but I believe I have the first 2 in like a 2-pack that I got years and years back. I'm pretty sure. Other than that though, they have some kind of one that has voodoo, like that has, I guess it's a Blu-ray of the first 2 and then a code for the new one. But this one makes much more sense because it's the same exact thing. And this one you get a disc of the third movie, and then but that one's 20. But this one is a Walmart exclusive. And then The Gentleman, I'm going to have a review of that one at the end of this video. That's $22.96 for the Blu-ray, $17.96 for the DVD, as well as Ip Man 4 came out today, and it's $22.96 for the 4K, $14.96 for the DVD, and then $14.96 for the Blu-ray, $12.96 for the DVD. Other than that, though, Like a Boss, that was the other one that released today. That's $19.96 for the Blu-ray, $17.96 for the DVD. There are some empty spots up here that say like Final Kill. So I think those were last week. There's something here, I have to look this up. Not touching things if I'm not getting it, but this looks sort of interesting here. This one called like, what's it called? Fearful or Everful? I can't even tell. It's like I guess it's Everful, I guess, or something. It's kind of weird text. It's hard to read that a little bit, but this looks sort of interesting. I'm gonna have to look this up and see what this is. Not touching it though until I know. This is one of the other ones that came out today. If you guys have seen this one called The Last Full Measure, let me know if this one is worth picking up. And that one is $19.96 for the Blu-ray, $14.96 for the DVD. And this, I believe, was today too. World on Fire, Season 1 for $22.96. Let's see here. These were last week. This Camp Coldbrook. That was like a week or two back. That one I really liked a lot. And I believe this was new too. This one here, Cover Me, for $14.96, like a movie with Danny Trejo, and then $9.96 for the DVD. But this is one of the ones that I'm going to get today for sure. The Turning. And I know this movie was not great, but I actually really did like this one a lot, so I'm definitely going to get this one because I like Mackenzie Davis, who is the the star of this movie. She was in like Tully and this one movie called Izzy Gets the F Across Town, and a bunch of different stuff that I like. So definitely getting this, and really wondering too about the alternate ending on this. And the other one, like I said, I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to get this edition, that has all three of them. So it's only a little bit more for that one. And like I said, I believe I have them, but I'm not 100% certain. Or I'm going to get this one. I have to decide on that, though. Other than that, though, I don't see anything else in here different, though. Yeah, so what I did was I actually looked on my phone quickly and had searched my YouTube, and then to see if I had it, and it looks like I reviewed Bad Boys 1 and 2 in 2015, so I do have a copy of that. So I'm not going to get the collection that has both the the first and second one, because I really did think that I had one. I think I have it put in a weird spot, but yeah, because I really wanted to watch those first ones again. But now going to head and look for all the food items and everything. I'll show you all that stuff though at the end of this video that I end up getting. So I just got out of there, and I'll show you guys what I ended up getting. I got the food. I'm going to show you all the food items at the end. I still have to go over to Target, but that's directly next door. I'm probably not going to show much of anything in there. Maybe just quickly, the Bad Boys thing. But in there, I ended up getting The Turning there. And like I said, I actually like this movie. It's not perfect or anything. It has like this, you feel like it's like a, I think it was set like in the 90s, but for like the trailer, you would have thought it was set like in the 1800s or something. I don't know why that's what I originally thought, because this is a movie, this story has been made a number of different times, but I honestly kind of like this one. I did buy this one called Everfall, with like this sort of hard to read text. I read about this one. It actually sounded kind of interesting. If you guys have seen this one, let me know. But it sounded relatively interesting. It's like a, totally like something I knew nothing about. I didn't even know it was coming out. And then I ended up getting, which is a pain, it has a thing on the front, like this sticker, which maybe I'll be able to get off. I haven't seen a movie put this on the front of like a slipcover in a long time. Like, it used to happen all the time, and like especially places like Fry's Electronics, and certain places always would put like a sticker on the front. Best Buy used to a lot, but I did end up getting the Bad Boys for Life, and they had a 4K as well, but this isn't one that I had to get on 4K. And I'm kind of like, sometimes I get 4K, other times that I don't. But like I said, I really did like this one. I had to check real quick to make sure I didn't have the other ones. I would have gotten that triple pack of all of them together. But like I said, I did, because that's what I do sometimes. I look up if I reviewed it, so then I kind of know. But now though, going to head over to Target really quickly for some of the other things I have to get in there. Into Target we go. Yeah, but like I was saying, I haven't been in Target in weeks and weeks. I'm probably not, like I said, I'm pretty much just going to probably show the the Bad Boys, if I see that. And they have like these X's on the ground out here, because some locations, because I drove by one this weekend, because I thought, I might try to go this weekend, and like the line was like around the block, and it looked like it would have been out here with people for too long, like a long wait, so I didn't end up doing it. That's why I'm doing it today as well. But Fingers crossed they have the things in here that I'm trying to get though, but we'll see. Like glancing here though at the front though, I don't see anything of any of the new stuff over here. I'll look quickly over there in the section, but yeah, it seems to be all the stuff from the past couple weeks and everything over here. So yeah, definitely nothing new over here. But like I said, with the X's and stuff, they have like those ones here as well, so they kind of tell you where to stand. But this one too doesn't seem to be having the one-way traffic either though, from what I can tell. Yeah, so I just got out of there and got a decent amount of things in there. They didn't have one of the things that I was trying to get for my mom, but I got majority of the things. Movie-wise though, I glanced over at the section and they didn't seem to have much of anything out. They had the Bad Boys for Life over there, but I think it was in the wrong section because it said it was like $30. So I think it was the regular Blu-ray and the 4K section. And I didn't see any of those exclusive ones or anything like that. I'll show a quick shot though now from online though of what the exclusive one looks like. Like I said, it has kind of like a pop art kind of look to it, pop art animated kind of look. Other than that though, I did see something that I didn't even know came out called, when I remember hearing good things about it, a show called The Righteous Gemstones, and that one was on $19.99 in there. But other than that, that was all the main, new things I saw in there today, at least that they had out. And now, though, let's check real quick to check on the computer, though, to see what's new in Best Buy this week. Now, taking a look here on Best Buy's website, the main big thing they're promoting is Bad Boys for Life, and they have the Best Buy exclusive Steelbook, which is a 4K Ultra HD Steelbook, and that one is $32.99 for that one. Ip Man 4 on 4K, that one's only $19.99 for 4K, so that's a really good price for a 4K, as well as The Last Measure. So what I've not seen, if you guys have seen that one, let me know how that was, as well as Ultraman X, the series, that one's $19.99, and 30 Rock, the complete series. It's $69.99. I just started watching that because I got the Blu-ray to review of that. That's a really fun show. I can't believe I never watched that when it was on. Now, looking at the other things here, the standard, the Bad Boys for Life on Blu-ray, that one is $22.99. The standard 4K that's not the Steelbook, that one's $27.99. I talked about Ip Man. The Gentleman on 4K, that one's $27.99. I like that one a lot. Ip Man on Blu-ray is $14.99. Gentleman on Blu-ray is $22.99. Like a Boss, that's $19.99 for that one. And I talked about that one earlier. The other one, the Turning on Blu-ray, that one is $22.99 for that one. And I think I talked about all these other ones here, like Last Measure, the DVD edition of that one's $13.99. The other ones, though, I don't believe will be available in stores. They'll all be ones you have to order online. But I'm pretty sure all these ones you'll be able to do for store pickup, though. Hi, so I need to get 2 single cheeseburgers, plain, please.
Okay.
And then 1 large chili, add the shredded cheese.
Okay.
And then 1 baked potato, add shredded cheese to that as well, please.
So just like a plain potato and add shredded cheese?
That's right.
Okay.
And that was everything.
I will set out the window, thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm heading now over to the Olive Garden to do the pickup thing. Hopefully it's not a difficult thing. I did it through the app. I've only ever, when I've gotten food there, just went inside to get it. But that's how most places now aren't even letting you inside. A lot of these places, like I've noticed that some do, but a lot don't. And then some locations are closed. Like I was looking at one Denny's, and not all of them are open. So some places are open, and other ones are just totally closed. This parking lot though is always usually so jammed because there's like a soup plantation over there, which is usually like the busiest thing on the planet, and the spots here are so tight and small. And there's like all these things you have to pull up to, like 19, 20, 15. I don't know if I have a number I'm supposed to go up to or not. I have to figure this out. I can't tell if all these people are sitting in because the cars are parked like this. This must be the people who work here that are parked like this. So I don't know what number I'm supposed to go to. I guess the first one. Yeah, we're open to go only. But let's see if I can figure this out. Hopefully I go to the right thing. I wasn't even able to put the right car color, because like my car is kind of like blackish blue. But yeah, so hopefully this works out. We'll see. Yeah, so I got all this stuff. They ended up forgetting one of the salads, but you know, you kind of have to. I don't like to mess around with messing with stuff. I have all the sanitizer and stuff like that in the car, so I'm doing that after I go in everywhere. But I didn't want to dig through it, but I could tell one of them was missing. But it looks like everything is here now for it, though. I figured while I was over here, you know, picking up the Olive Garden too, I would just look over here at the mall, because I haven't seen, you know, because the mall is like totally closed. I don't know if any of the food places out here are, you know, open right now, you know, like for a pickup, because there are a bunch of restaurants over here. But I thought it'd be interesting just to drive around here and look. This mall too, if any of you guys ever saw the movie Sorority Babes and Slime Bowl-orama, this is where they shot most of all the mall footage and stuff like that was in this mall here. Some of it still looks the same, like, but they remodeled all the inside, but some of the outside stuff still looks the same. So like around here is kind of looks like identical to how it did in the movie. And when I was first out here, I had no idea they shot that in there in this mall. What was funny too was I watched that movie maybe 5 years ago for the first time, and I was like, and I saw the name of the mall they showed on like one of the signs. I'm like, oh, that's so crazy that was this mall that I go to. But yeah, see this area here, like it still has the same look on the side and everything, but just crazy to see, you know, how the mall's all empty and like there's not much open. It seems to be open here, food-wise, because there are a bunch of restaurants over here, but it doesn't seem like anyone's really doing anything in these ones. There are like Panera Bread over here and stuff, so those are probably opened. But this mall had like a huge renovation, and then like a couple years back, and it didn't like take off. It's like all these empty things inside, and when the mall does open back up, it'll be interesting to see what things don't end up opening. But yes, there are some stuff here. So everyone has signs like this that says like, we are open, takeout now. This is the stuff you see everywhere now. A lot of these signs that they had to put up, like open for takeout, the Yard House. But even though this stuff is open, you see how few people are out. Like it's just crazy. And the movie theater is over here. And they're saying now that they think in July is when the theaters may open back up, and they may start to have like, before they have like the new movies, they may just start playing older films and stuff like that. So it'll be kind of interesting. And apparently they're gonna like, the studios are gonna like open up their whole library to that, from what I was reading. So it'd be interesting if they play like really old, like obscure stuff. Like, you know how they always play like Home Alone 1? Kind of interesting if they finally played Home Alone 2, because you know how they always have those like Fathom events, like or like Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, or like, you know what I mean, like really like different stuff that you never see. But definitely interesting to see over here and how empty everything is. So anyway though, guys, that was all for my DVD Blu-ray Tuesday shopping video today. Like I always say, if you guys enjoy these shopping videos, definitely give this video a thumbs up. Also, leave me comments below. Let me know, you know, what you guys picked up on DVD, Blu-ray, or 4K. If you guys ended up picking up anything today, or if you guys ended up ordering anything, or any new movies that you guys have watched lately, anything that you guys watched on demand, or any of that kind of stuff, definitely let me know for sure. But now, stay tuned for the brand new DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K reviews. Well, I just brought in the first batch of stuff I had to get. I had to get a bunch of new apples, these like pizzazz ones, and then these ones that were Envy, my dad's golden almonds, cuties, this Boom Chicka Pop kettle corn, some Jif peanut butter to-go one. This thing, I eat these things like before I go on the walk, like these kind of things, because the yogurt places are all closed. I think there's like only like a few random ones open, but the main one that I usually would go to, Menchie's, they're all closed now. And then some more of these egg rolls that I get, this snowball thing, this juice for my mom, this diet crayon apple. We couldn't find the one. I couldn't find the one type of butter that we normally get, but we got this type just to see, and then a milk. And like I said, I've still got more stuff to bring in though, but this is the first batch of stuff here though. Also though, I just brought in the stuff from Target. In Target, the main thing that I had to get was these Myers cleaning things, this dish soap stuff. Hopefully I got the correct one. And then these things, which are really, I can only find them in there, these Bale bubble things. They're like these 5-calorie things that have some caffeine. I usually have these like before I go to like the gym, or before now I'm going on the walks. And these like things that my mom likes, they're like 100% of the daily fiber. They're another thing I can only seem to find at Target. Then I randomly found these for my brother, these Lay's chips, because I've never seen this type, these BLT ones. And then these lollipops, since C's isn't opened, so I usually have like this lollipop I get at C's, so I got these that are close enough. But yeah, I needed to get some napkins. They didn't have any of those in there, and there's another juice thing I couldn't find either. But the main thing we needed though was this cleaner stuff because we were totally out of this particular one. Well, I brought in all the other things. There was other bag of some chips, Boom Chicka Pop, and I got Wendy's, and I got the Olive Garden herb. So
it's good.
Hopefully it's done all right. They forgot one of the salads, so I had to tell them. But you know, I was saying it too. It's really hard to dig through all these things.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? You really can't mess with them too much because you don't want to like screw it up. But it's this thing when you buy one, you get one like to take home or something like.
It's like a free.
It's like a free one, but it's cold, so you have to like microwave. These ones are hot, so it's like
that's weird.
It's a weird way. It's almost like they would take it on an airplane or something and heat it up or something. Isn't that weird?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's like. And normally the salads are in that clear plastic thing. They're in this thing today, so that's why I was all confused. I don't know if we have everything, but
those look like space meal or something.
I know they do in these kind of things. It's like spaceman astronaut foods.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, so I got everything. It was a lot of things today, but I accomplished it.
You busted your ass.
I know.
You're all over the place.
I know. So now over to the reviews. Now, before we get to the brand new DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K reviews, I want to let you guys know about a couple things I got to check out on streaming. The one that I watched, that I really liked this one. I know this one had some mixed reviews. Was a movie called Downhill, which stars, Will Ferrell and Louis-Dreyfus. And this was basically, though, about the, Will Ferrell and Louis-Dreyfus character who are married, and they go to, I think it was the Swiss Alps to go skiing on this family trip. And basically, though, it starts off like it's going to be okay, and then they're out there, for having lunch out on the outside area, where it's like a great, amazing view of the ski slopes and everything, and this huge avalanche comes. And it's like, and basically, though, Will Ferrell's character, instead of he's sitting with his family, but he just gets up, grabs his phone, and runs away and leaves his family there at the table. And after this happens, it becomes this awkward thing where, it puts this awkward tension to the family, and it's like this nightmare thing going on where Louis-Dreyfus is like, well, why did you not wait with us? Why did you not make sure we got away? Why'd you run away and act like a coward? And it just kind of puts the whole trip and like ruins everything. And it's kind of like what they all go through after that. But I actually really like this one. If you guys have seen this one, let me know what you guys thought of it. The other one that I got to check out was the Call of the Wild, which is, that stars Harrison Ford. And this story has been made a couple times throughout the years, but it's basically, though, it's done like a different way that it was done this time, because normally it's done with like an actual animal actor. This one was all done, digitally and everything, like a digital animal, like dog and everything. But this is basically, though, this dog that ends up, getting basically taken away from its family because the family can't take care of him anymore. And what you find out in the beginning, but basically, though, it ends up becoming a sled dog. And it's basically, though, about, what the dog goes through and kind of how it, starts off like not, knowing all the how to do all the sled dog things and everything, and then kind of like learning the ropes and everything. And it leads into the whole thing with Harrison Ford's character and everything. But I thought it was actually decent. I didn't absolutely love the film, but I thought it was definitely worth checking out. And the other one that I watched is from the same director who did The Beast of the Southern Wild. It's a movie called Wendy, and this is like a different take on Peter Pan, and it's basically focusing on Wendy and about how like her brother in the beginning of the movie goes totally missing. Like he runs out of this restaurant and ends up going like onto this train and vanishes. And basically, though, it's about like after the brother was gone, she kind of always wondered where he went and everything, and she ends up, when she's older, kind of around the same age the brother was when he ended up disappearing, she ends up going onto this train too and like discovering like the Neverland area where the kids are out there. Like I said, it's a modern take on Peter Pan's story. It's actually a very interesting, totally different take on the whole thing, but I think this one is definitely, if you guys are a fan of the Peter Pan story and want to see like a really different take on the whole story, I would definitely say to check this one out, though. And the first one I got here is from Universal, and this is the 4K Ultra HD Edition, which includes the 4K, the Blu-ray, and the digital copy of Guy Ritchie's new film, The Gentleman. Guy Ritchie, also directed films like Snatch, Aladdin, a whole bunch of different movies, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. This one was from the trailers. I wasn't sure what I was going to think of this one, and I didn't get to see this one in theaters. And, I actually really liked this one. I actually really got into this movie. I thought this was actually a really fun movie, kind of similar to Snatch, mixed with like the Kingsman films. It kind of had that vibe a little bit to it. It's basically though about Matthew McConaughey's character, who is a lives in the UK, and he like sells marijuana, and he kind of has this big thriving business of marijuana and like selling it, and he has like this underground kind of bunker that's like hidden on a farm. It looks like it's like a dumpster kind of thing, like where you store things in. And he kind of goes down in there and like has where it's all hidden, and it's this huge system of all this stuff down there. And basically though, he's kind of done really well. He's made all this money. The business is worth millions upon hundreds of millions of dollars, but he wants to get out of this business and wants to sell it to this guy. And basically though, it comes this whole thing, and like at the beginning of the movie though, Charlie Hunnam's character, who works for him, he gets visited by Hugh Grant, who's kind of coming to him with this offer and saying that he needs to do something. He needs to listen to what he has to say, and he's going to tell him this story. So it kind of starts off with him telling this story about how he's going to help, and how Hugh Grant's character is going to do something, and how he needs him. But essentially though, it's one of those kind of things where everything that can kind of go wrong goes wrong. And like Henry Golding, who was in Crazy Rich Asians, the star of Crazy Rich Asians, as well as Last Christmas, he's in the film as well as one of the characters that's kind of causing all these problems for Matthew McConaughey's character. And there's stuff that's happening where like he's getting, like, Matthew McConaughey's character is getting ripped off, and he doesn't know who he can trust, and it's kind of like this whole big to-do. And the movie has kind of like it has like the kind of humor that Snatch had, like that kind of like kind of dark humor in some ways. But I honestly, it's hard to explain, because it's one of those things that it has a whole bunch of different things happening, and a bunch of like problematic things where everything, like I said, that can go wrong goes wrong. But I honestly really like this one a lot here. It has a great cast. Like I said, Matthew McConaughey's in the film, Charlie Hunnam, Henry Golding, Colin Farrell, Hugh Grant. Really, really would recommend you guys check this one out. 4K wise too, this one looked great, because I feel like with 4K, some movies look better than others. This one, to me, honestly, is definitely one of the best one of the top ones that I've seen picture quality wise. Like, because sometimes when you're watching a 4K one, it doesn't seem it's super 4K. This one really did to me. And the big thing with 4K, like I've said in the past, is it's all about the HDR, which is the high dynamic range, which is the contrast levels. It's just a much, much more deeper, darker levels to the contrast levels and everything. It's also a much more vibrant picture. That's the big thing I always notice as well. The picture is just much more brighter all around. On here though, it has a bunch of different behind the scenes on here. It has photo gallery, but a really, really fun movie. Like I said, if you guys have seen this one too, let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of this one. The next one here is from Paramount, and this is the movie that stars Blake Lively and Jude Law, the rhythm section here. And this is basically though about Blake Lively's character. At the beginning of the movie, though, you find out that, her life was, like, going really well, and everything, and she had all these plans for what she was doing in her life, but her family ended up all dying in this plane accident, and because of this, though, she basically was broken, and she kind of, like, ended up turning to drugs, and kind of almost went into hiding and kind of disappeared from the world. But she comes to find out, though, someone comes to her and tells her that it was a terrorist kind of act that caused this plane to go down. And it wasn't what they thought, and it wasn't like a natural kind of thing or like an accident. It was actually something that was planned. And when she finds out about this, though, it kind of like lights this fire that she wants to get revenge, and she wants to track down who was behind this. But she doesn't really have like the skills. So she ends up coming to Jude Law's character, who was kind of like, what was his character? What was he doing? He was like in some kind of like intelligence division, and has like these skills and stuff like that, and he was hiding away in his own way as well. And essentially though, she kind of gets trained by him and trying to track down the people that were involved with her family's killing, and kind of it's her kind of training and going on to get revenge and stuff like that. But this is a really pretty well done revenge film. I thought Blake Lively did a great job in this one as well. This one has on here though, it has deleted and extended scenes on here, as well as featurettes on this one as well. The next one's here. Now these are really cool. This is a brand new line that Paramount is releasing. This is called the Paramount Presents line. I wanted you guys to know that these ones are available, and they're all like numbered on the sides, like 1, 2, and 3. Like I said, this is the first 3 of this. I did hear too that they're going to be releasing Pretty in Pink in this line. I believe I'm not 100% sure. I think it's June when it's coming out. I believe so. And this is the first 3 releases here. Now, these are all, you know, remastered from 4K transfers on these ones. And I'll let you guys know like what ones these are. The first one here is a Fatal Attraction, and this one they all have slip covers on these ones, and the case inside is like a clear case, and inside it has like artwork from the movie. Fatal Attraction though is a really cool movie about like Michael Douglas's character, and he basically has this one night stand with Glenn Close, and Glenn Close is like obsessive and stalkering, and it's a really intense movie. I always really like this movie. But on here though, it has a brand new featurette which has filmmaker focus, which is director Adrian Lin discusses Fatal Attraction. That's one thing that's new about these as well. They all have brand new features on these. And also when it opens up inside, it has like the original poster inside as well. But this is really cool releases. I really am looking forward to the future titles that they announce in this line. And it's all like has a thing on the top, like I said, Paramount Presents. On the side, it's numbered. So it's a really cool one here. Like I said, the other one here was, and this one is the number 2 one here, is Elvis in King Creole here. And then on this one, this has new feature-wise, it has filmmaker focus. Leonard Maltin discusses King Creole, as well as it has play the songs directly, select the scenes on here. And here's a look inside as well at the artwork inside. This one too, like I said, has the slipcover and the case in the back. And then the other one here is the movie, the Cary Grant film with Grace Kelly, To Catch a Thief here. And then this one on here, new feature-wise, has filmmaker focus Leonard Maltin on To Catch a Thief. I always was a huge fan of Leonard Maltin, especially his book. I remember having his book back in the day before, like, I was, using the internet to look up movies, and I was always looking up his reviews and what he thought about things. So that's really cool that he's on these ones, on the 2 ones here. And then it has also the original special features, like behind the gates on here, a commentary track on here, a theatrical trailer. But these are definitely really, really cool releases. And here's a look inside as well at the artwork inside of this one, how they all open up like this. And here's a look underneath here. But really cool, brand new line, like I said, from Paramount. And this is the Paramount Selects line. Like I said, one of you guys know that these ones are available. And like I said, too, they announced about Pretty in Pink. So I'm really, really looking forward to the other releases from this line. And the next ones here are all from moviezing.com, and I have a link below where you guys can order these ones for the best price. This is also from Level 33 Entertainment. This is a new film here starring Tyler Mane, Scout Taylor Compton, and John Snyder called Penance Lane. I like this one. This one is like really crazy with what's going on in this house. It's basically this house is on Penance Lane. When at the beginning of the movie, though, you see, who was in here? Booker T is in here, acting in here, and I thought he did a really, really good job. I don't think he's acted in too many movies, but I actually thought he did a great job in this movie. But essentially, though, him and his friends there in the beginning of the movie, they're like breaking into the house on Penance Lane, trying to look for some kind of money or something that they believe was in there. And you see like everyone like get killed and thrown around. You see like this crazy stuff happen, and like Booker T's character survives, and he kind of told Tyler Mane about it in prison because his character was in prison with him. And the beginning of this movie, Tyler Mane's character just got out of prison, and he is kind of heading to this Penance Lane house, and he's going there because they have like work to be done there. So he goes there to kind of work, but he also knew about like something that was there. That's kind of how he found out about this area, but he kind of didn't really believe there's anything there, but he was kind of there anyway just to sort of see. And then on the way there, though, at the diner nearby, he meets Scout Taylor Compton's character, and they kind of start to talk and everything. And essentially, though, he goes to this house, and immediately, though, weird sort of things are happening in there. He starts hearing weird things start to happen and everything. And like I said, there is an intense situation of what exactly is going on in this house. And it's not exactly what you think, but it is crazy. It kind of has vibes of like, sort of reminded me a little bit of Return of the Living Dead 3. And if you guys see this movie, you probably know what I'm talking about. Like I don't know, it just has like this vibe of it. Also, Diamond Dallas Page, he has a cameo in the film. But I don't know, I actually thought this was actually pretty cool, and it's like kind of crazy, Joe, what's happening and everything. The next ones are from moviezing.com as well, and this one here is from Cinedigm. This is a film here with Brendan Sexton III, has a small part in this one. Lynn Shay, who I pretty much watch everything with Lynn Shay, and it's a movie here called The Voices. And this one was basically, though, about this woman who ended up breaking up with her fiance, and she kind of needs to get away from the whole thing. And her fiance is played by Brendan Sexton III, who I've been a fan of Brendan Sexton III forever, ever since Welcome to the Dollhouse. He was the bully in Welcome to the Dollhouse. He was in Pecker, tons of different movies, Hurricane Streets, and it's basically, though, she kind of goes and moves in with her sister in this kind of house out in the middle of nowhere, and her sister has kind of had a problem with her like husband in the past, and she kind of left him, so she's out there, and her sister, though, she's kind of discovering, though, whose house that she goes to stay with, is having some kind of like mental problem. She's kind of like kind of talking to herself and kind of acting really weird and kind of acting strange and not really talking much to her and just acting really peculiar. And it's basically, though, she's kind of coming to try and figure out exactly what's going on with her sister, why she's there too, dealing with her own set of problems. And it's just kind of like one of those things where it's dealing with like mental illness and kind of about just kind of dealing with that and dealing with someone who's dealing with mental illness, and then just kind of like the result of all that. But it was actually a pretty interesting movie. Lynn Shay, though, has a small part in here, but I really liked her stuff in here. Lynn Shay, though, is always one of those people who steals the show on movies, and she was really great in her part in this one. This one here is from Cinedigm as well, and it's a movie here called All for Nikki. This stars Gia Montanja, you know, Joe Montana's daughter. I was saying her name and his name wrong on the last one. For some reason, I always mess it up, but, you know, she was also in what was the one, Unaccompanied Minors, years ago. I think that was the first thing I had seen her in. And this is basically, though, about in the beginning of this movie, you like they end up calling the paramedics because she ended up like she ended up getting I think it was her boyfriend got injured or something like that, and they were like having this crazy party and stuff like that. And basically, though, they both kind of have money, and then when the paramedics get there, they end up like trying, like the paramedics like come up with this idea that they want to like kidnap them and hold them hostage and want to try and like get money from them, because the one girl, she's like her boyfriend is she's kind of cheating on the boyfriend with this guy. Boyfriend was like this rock star and has all this money, so they're kind of like trying to get money from them, and it becomes like this whole like nightmare of a situation with them dealing with these paramedics and their kind of whole plan of what they're trying to do and all that kind of stuff. But I thought this was actually a pretty fun movie. This one here is from moviezing.com as well, and this is also from CBS, and this is a Netflix original series here called Insatiable, which stars Debbie Ryan, and this is an interesting show. It's kind of in like the vein of something like Heathers, kind of like a dark comedy kind of vibe to the concept of this. And it's Debbie Ryan's character, or somebody who was like overweight and was kind of like really picked on in school, was never really popular, and then she decided to kind of change and lost weight. And like it's kind of like about this guy who was like a pageant kind of guy who had a lot of problems. He like kind of ran pageant shows and kind of represented people at pageants and things like that, and he had something bad that happened to him, and like his name was tarnished, and he kind of comes up with the idea of like representing Debbie Ryan's character and kind of like representing her in the pageant scene and trying to kind of shape her up and get her to win these things, and kind of so he can kind of have his comeback. But it's one of those like really like mean-spirited kind of shows that has like really dark turns of what happens and everything in this one. I thought this was actually kind of interesting. Like I said, it sort of has vibes of stuff like Heathers and a little bit of that kind of vibe to what's going on and everything with it. The next one here is from moviezing.com as well, and this is also from the Meridian Releasing Group, and this is a documentary here called The Bits of Yesterday, and I really like the cover on this one. This is a documentary all on collecting video games. So it's basically, if you guys are a fan of collecting like retro video games and all that kind of stuff, this is all on that. And it's basically interviewing people who have huge video game collections, talking about their collections, talking about like their favorite pieces, and kind of all about just the whole art of collecting video games. And I always like those kind of documentaries about I've gotten interviewed in a couple ones that were about like collecting VHS and collecting physical media and that kind of stuff, and that's like kind of like the same type of thing, like but this is all for collecting video games. And I always like that kind of documentaries to deal with collecting and all that kind of stuff. So if you guys are a fan of collecting and fans of retro video games and that kind of stuff, they talk to a lot of retro video game people that are on YouTube as well, on here as well. But so a really interesting, like I said, documentary all about collecting retro video games. This one here, I really liked this film here. which is from Scream Team Releasing, and this is called Straight Ed's Kegger. This one I would definitely give a top recommendation to. This one was really, really good. And this is basically, though, about a group of these guys that are all like into straight edge, which basically means that they don't drink or anything like that. They don't do any drugs or anything like that. And basically, though, they have like this group, and the one guy in the group, though, he kind of is like doesn't agree with them because, like, you know, they go to like metal shows and everything. But the group, though, the one who's like the head of the group, he's kind of acting a little bit erratic and a little bit crazy the way that he's getting, and it kind of sways him away from the group because he sees how violent they're getting and how crazy he's getting about his views on everything. So he basically kind of steps away from it, and he meets this one guy he becomes friends with who isn't straight edge, and he kind of gets him into drinking and that kind of stuff. And basically, though, it's about, though, this group of the straight edge guys that was the group that he was in kind of like cracking up and kind of coming to a party that he's at, that when everyone's drinking and everything, and they basically come in there, and it becomes like a you're next kind of purge situation about them kind of trying to get into the house and like attacking people. And it's a really, really well done movie. Like, I honestly, this is probably, out of all the things that Scream Team Releasing has put out, I have to say this is probably my favorite thing they've released. This is a really, really must-watch movie here. On here, though, it has a director and producer commentary. It has deleted scenes, theatrical trailer, behind-the-scenes documentary on here, as well as it had like I think it had the pitch film on here as well, like the original short film that they pitched it with. And the next ones I got here are from Gravitas Ventures. This is a really fun movie here called Man Camp. This one stars Eric Stocklin, you know, who is was on the show Haters Back Off with, you know, the Miranda Sings character, and I'm not sure if they're married or not, but he is with Colin Bellinger, and they have a child together. But this movie, though, is basically, though, about these brothers who years back their father had died, and, you know, they had like this great relationship with their father, and like they find out, though, that their mother, you know, is now with this other guy. And it's like I said, he had died. I think it was like 12 years ago that their father passed away, but she found, you know, their mother has found someone else that she's dating. And like they come to find out about this, and they're like really unhappy because like they don't like this guy. They say like, oh, how could you be with this guy? He's nothing like our father. He's nothing like him at all. You know, he's not anywhere near as good. Like, what are you settling for him for? And they come with this idea, though, of taking him out to the cabin, to kind of like to this cabin out in the woods that they have, to kind of try and like sort of like test him out and like kind of like make his life a mess and kind of like, you know, sort of find out more about him and stuff like that. And they kind of have this plan of everything, and it's like kind of like this whole crazy situation of, you know, what they're going through and what's happening and everything. But like I said, this is actually a really fun, like kind of goofy kind of thing that they, you know, put the mom's new boyfriend through and all this kind of stuff, like put him through the ringer of all these kind of things. But like I said, this one here is called Man Camp, and the other one here is from Gravitas Ventures as well. This is a movie here called Nathan's Kingdom, and this is a drama with like sci-fi aspects to this one. This one was really well done. This is a really, really well done character piece movie. This is basically, though, about this girl who's, you know, her older brother is like 25. I think she's 19, I believe. And she has like problems with addiction to opiates and to pills and those type of things. It's like addiction problems that she goes through. Her brother has autism, and it's basically, though, because of one reason or another, the brother is going to be put into like a kind of like a group home type situation, and she doesn't want this to happen. And, you know, she kind of had always like been watching her brother and kind of taking care of him, and she kind of knew how to, you know, if he had a problem, she knew kind of how to help him. But at the same time, now she's going through her own set of problems with the pills and the addiction problems that she's going through. So they're both going through their own sets of problems, and they had this like imaginary land that, you know, that her brother, you know, believed in and was talking about, and she kind of wants to go on this journey with him to kind of find this land. And it's kind of like to sort of try and help him out, at the same time kind of try and help herself. And it's kind of like this bonding movie, and it's just like the whole journey that they go through. But this is like I said, really, really well done, well acted movie here. Definitely would recommend you guys check this one out here. And like I said, this one here is called Nathan's Kingdom, and it's like risk it all to find your kingdom. This one here is from Wild Eye Releasing. It's a movie here called Impact Event, which has Michael Berryman in here, Richard Greco, Vernon Wells. And this is a science fiction alien like horror film. It's basically, though, about like the end of the world, and everyone like kind of talking about how they're going to go and hide out. And it's a group of these people who are going to go and hide out in this kind of like a haunted house, and they're kind of talking about how like it's basically a big solar player. It's not really alien, it's like a solar kind of thing that's happening, like a comet or something like that is coming to Earth, and they believe that it's going to cause all this radiation and everyone's going to die. So they're all like, well, we can go and hide in this haunted house underground, and then we can hopefully survive there. And they're like putting supplies down there and all that kind of stuff. But it's basically though about, it's like bad things that happen with them down there. And then it also cuts to like different characters, like Michael Berryman's in here, and his character is like in a prison, kind of with this guy going to a prison. And Michael Berryman though was great. I loved his part in this movie. And it's basically though just about, you know, that like after this thing comes to the Earth, it's like not going to be good, and it's kind of like the aftermath of the whole thing. But I actually thought this one was pretty cool. On feature wise, this one has a music video on this one. And the last one here is from Wild Eye Releasing as well, and it's a movie called Ouija Geist. And this one was basically though about a woman who goes to a new, moves into a new apartment. She ends up finding in the backyard this Ouija board back there, and you kind of see in the beginning like the origin of where the Ouija board was found and everything. But essentially, though, she ends up, finding this Ouija board, and she starts to, mess around, with it. And of course, it ends up bringing all sorts of, because anytime someone messes around with a Ouija board, it's not going to be a good thing. And there's no different here with her messing with this Ouija board, and it's kind of like weird, bad things start to happen to her. It's like her dealing with this priest, trying to figure out exactly how to stop what's happening, and it's actually a pretty fun movie. On here though, it has creator interviews, on-location interviews, as well as trailers on this one. And like I said, this one is called Ouija Geist. But anyway though, guys, that was all for the review portion of this video. Thanks again for watching and subscribing, and I'll see you guys later.